Or still in board?
Yes,
Oh, are we recording?
yes, we're good.
Okay, if there are any members of the public that would comment during this meeting, they will be given the opportunity to do so during the non-agenda public comment period on any topic not on today's agenda. But they may speak on a specific agenda item during the public comment period for that item. For agenda items, public comment will follow staff presentation and before board member deliberation. Any member of the public that wishes to speak must complete a speaker slip in advance of the agenda item being called, indicating which items they want to speak on. Members of the public will be allowed 2 minutes to speak. If a member of the public wishes to speak, please wait in the designated public seating area and wait for your name to be called. For board members, you may ask clarifying questions of the public after their testimony. However, no action can be taken by the board that is not an agendized item. Okay. Do we have any board members participating remotely?
We have Heather. And I think John's, but JR, yeah, but
No members of the public or.
not, no.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Item number 3, non-agenda public comment. I do not see any members of the public here. Moving on to item number 4, approval of the minutes from October 15th. Have a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion.
Okay, I'll second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Thank you. All right, moving right on to item number 5. Board annual report.
There's only one requirement of this board, and that is to annually submit a report to the Board of Supervisors that just outlines the work that you all have done throughout the year, and also your policy perspectives and needs. So historically, our process has been that staff has taken a draft of it for your review, and that it is required by ordinance to be delivered to the Board of Supervisors by January 31st. That's of every year. So we've sent this out via email the past 2 months. Hopefully you all have had a chance to review it. But we're also going to just sort of like walk through that and highlight the big sections, and we can just receive any comments that you may have here live today. With the goal of hopefully being able to finalize it after today's meeting. If you all need more time and we need to bring it back to the January meeting, we can do that and still meet the requirement of transmitting for by the end of the month of January. So we thought that we would just focus the bulk of today's time going through the sections and getting your feedback like your approach. Deb's gonna walk us through.
Just so that you're aware, so Joanne is able to take away the edits and over here. Great. So that's just so that we can be efficient, but as Amy mentioned, if there are things that require, like, we would really like some more information on X, Y, and Z. That's not something we want to spend a lot of time trying to craft that language. We can definitely come back, work on it and bring it back or email it back out. But for small edits, we can do live. And that's the same version that's on my screen right now. And I'll just go through it at a high level. So the beginning of the report just provides on the first page really just some information about the board and about DWHP as what we do. And then it kicks off on the second page with information on various different dot points that we have related to what your board has recognized and how you've supported the field in this past year and overall in the past few years. So I won't go through every single dot point, but there are some key ones that I just wanted to highlight in here. I'm sure that everything that we brought forward to the board in terms of our topics such as the recovery, our beach and day monitoring program, effective result program, information about hazardous materials, our cost recovery operational plan. These are the things that we have here listed down. and, a dot point about our lithium ion battery and, some information here raising.
Yes,
Oh,
please, just speak
No,
up.
it's really, yeah, and what I was gonna do is, that, thanks, Tommy, give me I'll explain it. I was gonna do kind of, section stop and see if you have any comments.
Okay.
So, why don't we stop here and kind of go through the first 5 dot points? Do you have any comments on that?
I have a comment. I believe you did the air monitoring in the 200.
We did, have a presentation where we shared information where, the air monitoring that has been done, not,
The county did it. Did the county do the air monitoring? But you interpreted, you interpreted the health impacts of
yes,
it?
we had, told, officer here, public health officer.
It was not DHP though.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, that was my question. Because it seemed like a big deal. But it was okay,
It was a big deal.
so maybe that goes in the other department section.
It could go in the outside agency section. Yes, that would be a good place. Acknowledging what the Air Pollution Control District has done for air monitoring and air.
And then the county role.
Okay.
Even though it's not your department. it's
Yeah.
the department.
Okay, we'll look at putting something then on, like on the section that's, page 6 and page 7.
Talk about going to the dots, we did subparagraphs of the people.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of highlighting the summary, so we're still on page 2. If you have any, like, I see you've moved on to a, really get it. So, these are on this, right? Okay, so, then we, on the end part of page 2, do you want to start down there?
Yep.
We just talked about our commitment to environmental justice, our commitment to continue to work to address vector for and infectious diseases and efforts to relate to that, as we identified partners. Going to move on to page 3, is there any comments to possible for us? And I think you all have seen it, but you also have the annual report. Okay, so moving on to page 3 from the this section, bringing stop points disputes meeting. Most of these are related to working with our fundamental partners. The effort that we've done for the West Nile virus, as we brought forward to share with some of the responses that we have to do is related to mosquitoes. And so any further comments on the topic which okay. So moving on to the next section where it states we have recognized and supports on this ongoing planning efforts and involves operational changes as a result of climate change reviewing their climate changes and doing also the work for and the climate change we have a so that you have certain goals that we are to achieve. So this discusses the efforts that we're doing as it relates to impacts of climate change, specifically related to reduction of gas and vehicles and switching over to different vehicles. And some of the more specific. Perfect. So moving on to the next section, which is at the end of page 3, it talks about our emphasis on public health and regulatory education outreach for stakeholders community and public. This is really important. To us, we've shared with you that we included the public health agency management program for Atlanta. That relates to the receptive. That was proposed in February. And then the next thought point recommended the community is related to the community. I'm just gonna keep moving along, but please just stop me at any point. And then
Now, if you go by the point, the voice of the,
as we go by, you can just stop me. Do you have any comments there?
well, I was thinking, and it might not be found to this, but might. We might decide this to the wrong comment. I'm saying that maybe you think that we know you talking about this. We've always done that. I think if I can, name path, we didn't put it up. Sitting on the board, but maybe not enough interested folks like that. You don't need that many with the millions with sensitive. In other words, you can just rename what the business focusing on a neighborhoods that you perhaps have it, subjects that would be passed with enough that make it equal without the town. That's all we're trying to do. And so we can say that without using words that may be causing people. I don't know if that's a problem.
I'm being honest with you.
I don't know if that's a problem.
I haven't heard of there being, and it's still a pretty common reference to the shine, from my knowledge, that we question on other words. What you described is that, and it's time to make sure that, sometimes, some areas have very released that.
Well, I used La Jolla versus Boyle Logan. Yeah, because people from La Jolla start solve why they want anybody to allow, did it? People from Boyle Logan, well, that's the way it's always. And so they're less likely to be followed. This is. Okay, I don't know. Diane Categorian, no, for your ladies, for you, you like helpful?
Yes,
Yeah, right. They will vote for it. Maybe that brought in, we bought a lot of empathy. They just think of it back here. Back now. Doing that without that vote. I don't know if that's a problem at all. But I think, you know, we can equal 79 to everybody. Yeah, equal. Thank you. Without perspective. That's just considered. We don't need to solve solved.
And already, that reasonably already, of late,
Yeah,
since the initial, so.
Yeah, as opposed to justice, it's environmental, yeah.
Why don't we add a little more, like a sentence or two that describes like the approach that they're taking, right? And I'll just give us one example on our favorite targets. When our budget control program is to the example, which is it's a complaint-based program, right? But we looked in our data, to be curious about areas where we were not. If it's a focused outreach, in those communities, and it wasn't because the mosquitoes weren't there. It was just, there needed to be enhanced education. So that, like, the services were there, even though we weren't hearing from this. So, I think what we can do, to your point, is add a little bit of more narrative to explaining the how.
That's the beautiful. Yeah. But I was trying.
Okay. Let us take a crack at, when we adding sentence to more of that subject. I'll get with that.
That's the first thing we'll put the sample in it. Yeah, it sounded good. Yeah.
Close to this information, so like having your perspectives and this blend with the friends is very helpful, right? Because like a tip of the iceberg, or saying I don't know, right? We know all this help as you all tell us, but opportunities to bring out the work that we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's a general public, yeah, Bob, it's just another word, you know. She might be throwing.
Well, sometimes they get sued, some other people just move past it and don't really understand, well, what are they? First,
Okay, thank you, Mother.
Okay, so I'll ask you about. Each field. Yeah, well, and I think the example is really, really important. Being able to. Okay, so I'm continuing on page, where we're at, and the page 30 will be on. Well, we're really emphasizing the activities that we done for stakeholders. So at the top of page 4, we discussed our MyPolic member enterprise conservation program. That has been very successful. We've shared that we received a grant and we've been able to get a summit use of been very tested. Other developments that they have done with their series program. Some of our recommended and there's work that I'm going to start to talk to more. I'm looking forward to this, and actually, I just realized that your page numbers are different than your page numbers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But you're in the right section.
Okay.
There's 3.
Okay. Okay.
So this section really emphasizes and we lost this part to them. Every year we have one form of cost recovery program is much short budget. There's thing. It's really important to us that we are attempting to find basis for learning and include on also say that we find cost efficiency. And so in this section, we talked about some of these that we've been doing and significant work that allows us to do this, ensure that we are, when we do make the changes for this, that we are doing something similar to the so, I mean, this section talked about some of those examples, such as some of the we've used in the past year, which has kind of started to go to. We've been able to use some of the pricing community dashboards to leverage some efficiencies. So we've done that with registration, quality, content, and so also funded to a lot of our from up part and because they actually Sarah brought. So this section I sent a part of this from. I think it's actually many things that you said that it's about.
I thought it's like, it's super, like, there's something saying, and it's very effective. There's a good program that we showed use of lighter and non-efficient. It shows your batteries, it shows those batteries. That is really bad. Yes, yes.
I was also thinking, whether in this section you could integrate AI, because the younger workforce are more and more being educated with AI research. So if you could be prepared for this upcoming younger workforce, if there's any way that for the DHQ is using AI to make processes more efficient, for example. Or whether there's sort of opportunity for exploding.
Okay.
Explode.
Yeah, great comments. Thank you. The county just recently, by policy. So, it's in its infancy, I think already, I think have like a very small box that operate with them, Microsoft providers, the other side of it, about, over the. Like that.
And we are exploring how we can use explore, so I think that that's exactly what. Explore, currently exploring, see how this.
Yeah, it's very different on top of it. Different things, it's already selected one.
We're exploring the improved tools. I don't have been approved, but yes.
And is it more than one, should we?
There's
Still,
multiple,
yeah.
Or, but, as you mentioned, I just, software habit has been uploaded to our program, our computers at very limited use, so we all can use that, but that's really the right company. Not what you're seeing in terms of, so the chatting from capture to the point that you're making about, like second of that, if it's covered, if it's located.
A lot of things can be integrated. Yeah.
And, Joanne, would you capture the comment on this, notes, just the one from the fact? No. Okay, it's just adding the book, mosquitoes, but I didn't follow it. That was, okay, moving on. So the next section on our probably the five relates to, our, because fiscally responsible and sustainable. We talk about, benefits that we do, just no programs. We are, fiscally responsible. And, so before we move on to, the board section.
On bullet number 4, that might be a good place to add AI. It's utilize technologies and new identify the features.
Yeah.
Let's make that comment.
Okay.
If not, simply,
I think it's works really well on the US section related to innovation, but I think that can also be added here because it relates to, opportunities, yeah, plastic. So maybe then find things that we.
So, no.
So without any, requirement for us to make a change, we actually, so maybe we need to clarify that language here, that is clear. So, the next section is our boards and recognition section. So, we received, board and, board. Write that out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because I thought, I didn't say that. It's National Association of County. That's
Yeah.
a good one. Right now. And then our CCDH award, and that'll be a couple of things that could feel so award.
Additional list, I mean, 6%.
We have a change, I think we're very good. So, we usually very confident we're going for, in this time.
And then with that, getting back in there. Just to state that, we're intending to pursue this one, that one,
Maybe, but I think. We can just trying to do the best job at everything the board's following. And
That's what the one thing we know is using the system for this particular dog.
yeah, like I said, the efforts are to do this job as good as they can, and the board's following that. We're not doing it for us.
No, they're not, I'm afraid it just happens, which means that these are going to this, they're laws and insurance, it's a big thing.
What about something that's broad, right, like continue to pursue,
That's it. You must just say it, just, these are our goals. Yeah, goals.
They don't work for awards, they work to serve the fund. And the awards just follow that. We just,
I do think this is a little fact, right? This is what
Right.
speech for this here, and it's already baked. I think this drives. I worry about projecting forward, even when we general sense, is what if we don't get your notes? And then you have to justify why you didn't know somebody has to. No, it's hard, these are hard to predict, not knowing the answers, so. I do support.
well, that's a good one. You can't say me, but. I mean, that.
What if you capture it as like continue to pursue opportunities? So I really like it saying where it's like, you don't know, we may not get one stuff, right? But we will continue to pursue that.
Say that, I think when we look at an annual report, see what we know, so you need to drop those down.
These awards are effectively the function over any awards that you got, which you not.
Not this year,
Okay.
but they would have looked at it, sometimes we see how our staff.
It's all the change. Hold on. It's enabled. That's not different. It's a. Really? That's.
So I'll be
Okay.
the next section on page 6. This really recognizes the effort that
Yeah, so.
not necessarily. It doesn't mean that there's since, and possibly for them to be to touch or kind of support in certain ways. But there are things that, either through fire board, most of these are big fire board. And that their work is passed on the concerns of those. So, in terms of our strategic, or board strategic initiatives, is discussed this, the fire boards and storm housing, initiatives, the food system initiative that you do access to as well. There's a piece of history in the asset. For there's other departments. There's strategic plan, a work that's going. Any comments on the page 17 part of it?
Michelle, this may go back previous year, but just all the work that the county has done. Analyze the footprint in terms of building usage. Has that been done in the past or before this has been made now?
It has been done in the past. I didn't have any of those efforts to this year, these are the more rapid. And Chelsea, this is where I think the passionate point about all the windows of county that's gonna do like that. It helps studies this is ask for what don't public sent on for air monitoring, yeah, back there. Okay, so moving on to the 7 of continuous documents. Related to the disabilities. Manager here. Is it? And some of ones that this now was services that was on the support.
Okay. I'm not sure it's so. That related to celebration, no? I'm sorry, which, the second to the last, oh, celebration. For the show production of this convention of recycling, so this can be related to recycling. The storm water, that's what's more, yeah. Just clarify this. Added for like some general topics of, storm water, that's it. That's and we should prepare, the reference to appendix music and appendix C, appendix, it started as the page. Appendix A, B, and C. And so, before we move on to those appendices, if there are any comments about the, as the. I would like one comment really that it said it was maybe a consist of one. Yes, to your like 17 position, but if it's really everybody seems to much time, number. Yeah, so I don't know if you, if currently it's a 6 members. I don't know. Oh, just clarify. Okay. You can do that. Yeah. So, this is where we go more specific into specific things that we've done. A lot of this stuff over there. Becomes exciting topics, but in the broken down by the programs. You can say through public health safety, first kids. And then if you on the race maps, has that, the history on the
This appendices is really intended to capture a lot of policy perspectives, that you've heard in the comments, throughout the years. So some of this is historical, from past, the years. And for this section, I just want to make sure that this is reflective of this current, and there is an error at the top that says it's a nation that out of these that's it's meant to summarize specifically for this year, however, it wasn't in the mention to do those following things from prior year and the reports of or has historically found the report. So if there is information that you got, okay, everybody.
I'm just the why is it?
So the first thing on this area report is the calendar area of the report. Yeah, that's an error, so there will
Or they got yes, at a time. So page one, related to those minutes that I think this is third as the piece of response. And so, as you can see, most of the statements state there's a door support, so it's probably like this important part my first. In the areas versus. In the report that we just looked at as Lord has says, how it's really what these back work is done. Got a typo, but instead it's producers. On one point, then showing that safety car shut down and response operates including the water fire. And others, but more water fires. So you can have if water following what the right, so we would only, so there's a couple of different ways we're involved with a lot of it. We do have the state snap program, which is like 17 general, 17 systems, so not really many. However, oftentimes facilities can have their water advisory, so we take actions, for the water advisory that's issued by the state. So I think, we're going to stuff. Maybe we can verify more of what we do in particular in the water enforcement. It's more monitoring other than considering it as our, facility than it is related to the 17. Right, so this is basically related. So power shut off. So it's not more about. This, before water, I was reading the only make it. Where is this one? It's looking outside of something. Oh, I see, okay. All right. But now they call it. Right, water can be that. Okay, so we're going to because this is here.
It's like, it wasn't necessarily like,
They
they got had some like swimming pools and having Europe relate or whatever. The helicopter.
So maybe because it's more broadly about like minimums. Yeah, okay, got it. For that type of, yeah, I get that. Any additional comments on appendix 7? Yeah, that's it there, yeah. You look at this so many times, but then you see it again and see the thing, so. So for appendix 3, over here, we do a summer issue that is firefighter short fence. This is not, this is actually on the fiscal year, we must be on the fiscal year, recommended June. And so we then go through
summarize our department's efforts and including some of our data points related to various different programs. So every year we get another report as much of the burden. And we use this same program sheet and other factors. I will turn on the. Your annual report to the board is sort of the draft of the result that goes up to the dependent stuff.
Yeah. So it's, see, it's. Or right on down, so you guys took them high, that's, as an agency, I'm just really respond and primary resources to do the highest priority stuff. We never feel like I have that, we do everything. Make purpose feel safe. This is really nicely done. I just have curiosity. Are there two corner facade? Okay, this program. Okay, so this is it goes through your match. You know, it listed next to massage. Okay. And it says regulate and inspect the living facade facilities with local form of this certain cities. That because those cities have codes and others don't.
That's correct. So, this is something, the massage program is not a mandated officer program. And so we've been, as resources continue to get strained, really have them how they prioritize our time, staffing, that's just switching focus to the health office and programs. So we've been, working with cities throughout the region to updated their local plans. And so the cities have been taking on this program with the jurisdiction. So the goal is to divest of the county doing this, and we're pretty close to that. We still have a little more work to do.
The cities that aren't listed are cities that feed our money.
That's
The city of San Diego.
right, because they've updated their local codes and then taken on that. And that's a really good minority about like grouping of them. So this is sort of like a grouping of like and other similar programs that we have. So that maybe we can rethink how we target that instead of a desperate type of.
You guys did, and you're like, you don't want to make the phone that be different. I feel.
Yeah, we'll look at that.
And I think a similar program, it's right there, other housing study. And there's concept with cities to include those. So if they don't have a contract with the family.
They implement that when programs through their own states.
I'm familiar with it. Under the state 505 program. For the is the West program. I know we're planning for a ramp down with that program. Are you guys taking some of it?
Yes, no, you're right, I don't have, you haven't do that. But we are. There's a, the public, with the single dollars, laws that are like that, that's in the, it's, so we've been working, it feels like a decade, communicating about this, law. It's been, yeah, absolutely, for that. Everyone's part of my. And then. November 31st, for the. You'll check for example, the actors. And we speak that patient for the moment to. That or not when not too much. And continue. Maybe, let's think about that in the funny place. It's just.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be 100%, but, you know, the limited, that's gonna be. We'll have some that are not with the clients and then, we're gonna have to, we're required. As the. We have a wash it out. Sure is. Yeah, we've been doing, personal phone calls and taking. It's why all. And still, be able, and I will not be able to do that. I want to work with them, about the contact, constant communication with them. Another, and they are aware. Knowledge, I'm gonna do them. You promise that we have the private stations and the. I would hold like the Chevron that. The ground compliance. Most of them are, the ones that are still pending are economic, government ones, individual and private, and only one of the. Of those, public. It is even all places where that combined, everyone here to. Already that. It might be something.
In never suggestion in the Department of Statistics by the members. So I realized that there's a lot of blessings for is there opportunity in the sectors to add some visual, not sure like considering visual like some tables, maybe some trends showing in pieces where things have increased over the years. Probably might make more impact than just bullet points, just conservative. And I know that it takes more effort to this. Is that possible?
We'll look into it and see what we can, do with the next month.
Okay.
This is a great way to test your AI. I'm a very novice user. So we want to.
That's the way you have to do that.
Great. Test it.
You can see a lot of, you can see a lot of the graphics in some of the presentations where you saw, like, I don't know if you get down into the. Here's what San Diego County charges and these all the other counties charge, that might be a little too granular, but I think what you're saying is, makes a lot of sense, that there's places that were San Diego counties that sell them. And sometimes, and the graphics are definitely more helpful than having to be, on the whole.
Okay.
You're spending the board time where there's specific number of people here.
Well, to visualize the cost savings,
As well as the different things.
let's see, what we can do.
Yeah, I think they have it in graphics.
We have it, or I agree that, and more than just like the snapshot of time. So let's take a look at it.
As opposed to being excited about it within the from both sides. First, that comes to.
I think there's two, this, the bottom of page 16, what Toby was talking about, is that's really 129 area identified with what these communities. So if that's the place to have that information that Toby was talking about, in the satellite news. For that's better, we'll be talking about it.
One thing to me is going on compared to what, you see the graph is. Yeah, the last year compared to other.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Trends.
Yeah, that might be too much to do in 1 month, but.
That's
Something to think about. Sure do.
thank you for all of your comments. I feel like we have, enough, substantive provisions that, we need to take this next month and implement those provisions and bring it back to you for action in January.
I just sent a message us in the new drafts, and so that must be saw already.
Yeah, right.
For the annual report, we'll give us great feedback today. I feel like there's enough changes, that I would recommend until, January, where you can see the report and make sure it's reflective of other things. Option.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
We will send out like a red line version and advance it for January, so we have a chance to take a look at that, prior to.
I think we want to. We're talking about holding the vote in January.
Just bring it back. It'll continue.
Any further discussion or comments on the annual report? Move on to item number 6, that's the executive office.
Yes, okay. A couple of things to share with you. I do have, one announcement. It's always, quite a compliment and a privilege to have a team members actually that, are asked to serve as temporary assignments, to actually a higher class and there's a vacancy. And so, great announcement to share is, Stephen Tamayo, Deputy Director from our department, was asked to serve during the vacancy. He works at the Food and Rally people and will be the environment. And then also within our department, we have Vivian Payne stepping up as deputy director in that time frame. So Vivian is a familiar face, our chief of operations. She'll be serving in temporary assignment over the next few months, over IT, finance, and graduate citizens, Stephen.
Is there open somewhere that everyone's being kind of moved around temporarily?
It happens all the time. Remember, I was gone for a few months last year and Heather and JR right at temporary assignments. So it's, I think those are all internal, right? The internal opportunities. But it's great. You always learn so much when you have those opportunities and the team, you know, the functions. It just makes us stay strong. Okay. I wanted to discuss with you, and hopefully you all have had a chance in your packet to just add topic ideas for the 2026 calendar year. These are not marked in stone. We have sort of pre-populated some suggestions for you. Whenever we bring an item to the board of supervisors for their consideration, we always like to bring it there to your advisory board first to get their feedback. So those are the things that you'll see there. On the list, and then it's sort of like a housekeeping thing for us to discuss as well. We've shared with people before that our board hearing dates are Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So sometimes it conflicts with this Wednesday timeframe. Usually between the executive director, we can divide and conquer and use it to staff our board items and also staff this meeting. However, the May 20th date is going to be our cost of budget proposal, so all of us are going to be at the board hearing for that. So we wanted to discuss with you the opportunity to move that to the different date. Or if you want to cancel the meeting for that one, that is another option. But we would like the opportunity to do in May if we can, because in June is when we plan to bring forward to the board of supervisors the vectors benefit assessment and service charges. We plan to share that. So these are the topics that we thought of that maybe get closest to you. We have a look at placeholders in August, September. If there's something else that you're thinking about, even if it's another agency doing some work with the student. If you have any feedback today, that's great. but we always do things with. Pops up, it's $1 or
To see if they finalize the others and things that are still under on the show, just because the work stuff.
public health lab.
And because.
I'd like to control that.
Yeah.
You can go in there.
So there is one challenge. Yeah, there is one challenge with, deleted folders. We have to also make this tours available to members of the public. So, with the labs, right, so we'll need to look into that a little bit, because there could be some security challenges with members of the public. But let's think about that. I'm wondering if we could even do something like virtually. I was gonna physically there and think that. Let's think about that. Better control that.
That's the same issue with the team, that's who
Yes, yeah.
It would be nice, somebody, just to answer another question. For the two on the road, we get sort of an overview for wasn't. I mean, we know generally what the issues are, but it would be nice to have someone who's been there on the ground, physical presence, or kind of lay out, maybe more than that for the area. So it is the same kind of what I think they thought. I've been down there myself, it's so why. Yeah, most of we'll see, understand. What we source is where the issues are, where the residents are, how that's affecting, you know, those things. Stuff about that, we can't do it. Because of a field trip would be good.
And then out there. Yeah, for an agency. Yeah, so. That's not. Yes, things that's the.
Right.
And that's.
I think we could, for the TR round updates, I mean, we have that for July. What if we could organize a conference?
Oh, that's.
And so, like there could be a few different agencies that have been their perspectives.
Yeah.
I don't know. Right, you have one volunteer for the panel already.
We'll probably, I'll see if I did this effective officer, even though that's.
That's great, and I think also APC, like some of the academics.
Yes, it's involved, but it does. Just because of the social, they don't, are a bit run, but a lot of people, you give them their updates and say, this agency doesn't know. All the, literally. And so.
Different goals and stuff.
But it did, but he's giving them that public.
We do a lot of it. For a bit. Side, so the other works out. Usually, absolutely. On the strengths and
Oh, yes. Dr. Better, who found?
The monitor value athletes, July 15th coincides while the people begin on this. And the panels are so interesting, it is possible to shoot the date, maybe to be into the fall, yeah,
Like August or September.
yeah, mid-September.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't quite say it's on the phone.
Sure.
This is the. Oh, he's started on the excellent. I mean, for whatever reason, like, I'm still sensing. Oh, yeah, it was very. What else showing me a lot.
Yeah, it is, it was a different time, right? And I don't think that, or as, letters of the laws on it, that, the numbers in the public.
I Yeah, I understand how those things are. The one thing that I always come up with is what goes in the compost, what goes in the garbage disposal, yeah, those kind of, nobody, I bet you better go find somebody.
But you and I. It's so you.
Yeah. Like, those real fine things, items, you dispose of. Yeah, I can go to the info and ask them what they feel that, but yeah, I mean, you get the others, but it's not like it's easy. I don't know, but I would be up. If it's a thing.
Sure, we can bring public works back again, for another business issue moment. They'll bring, they can have partner with us. Yeah, public.
I think, and even something that interested in this, because I did.
All that's paying one thing. But I pay you, what you go down the drive, or what street you go down. And I'm home, it's that go to the theater, or doesn't even matter. You ultimately, things up and said, but. No one, like.
Yeah, I say that.
But I don't know if that's.
Services.
That's it. You didn't do a good job of answering.
They did what the brochure, I did this.
Yes, and at least, right.
I thought it, somebody's desk put those together. I think that.
It does some gaps. And he first, but he's a recycle. But I don't think I'd be like, go there, blind, like, get this.
And then the date, have a date.
We can be flexible, the one challenge is, this room is not available. So we would need to meet in the small conference room in our office, for that, which is fun. What was the date and then? 13th? May 13th? Okay, the Wednesday, but that's this room is not available. It's not good. Okay, any other Wednesday, so we'll just have to. All present in the small office in our office. Okay. Is May 13th work for you guys? 27th be better?
So this is one of the first.
May 6th?
I mean, every.
What is that? The things
Right.
Yeah, if we don't get the ones, that's like.
Well, what about this? Because we do have some members that are not present. How about we send out a doodle poll for all of the Wednesdays in May, and then we'll choose alternate, well, all the Wednesdays except that. We'll choose an alternate date based on the availability. Okay, so we can't do this, we're going to send it word to the process. So 13th or 12th. Okay, we'll send out a doodle for it. So all of them.
Ideas about possible presentation. And interestingly, so one would be like football deals just in the party, yeah, like, having these restaurant inspections. So if we get a picture of what's going on, it's like, and hotspots, so You know, I'm not sure if that has been done over the last few years.
The whole process of being, truly, it has to be very clear out the way, you know.
I'm really interested, so whatever works for the staff.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
We actually had, at our annual all staff event, last year, last month, we had, a presentation that was focused on this topic. So we're going to already have, within everything that's just right there. Very, and then we'll see what, some of the.
The person really not feel and on the small human that we kind of usually speak about. We reached the last minutes. They're following.
Okay.
So,
It's been a while, so we can see the air pollution control district is the effective farm that it's been read about.
We thought it was good. Still the two complicated. Different locations have it. Like, we've got the retire. Maybe it would be. In different states, same thing will be our police, well, there's no. In house, all the others, this can be right now, but. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, it may be too good, so. And you make for it, right? I think, although I don't think it's probably, well, I think the citizens of San Diego County are blessed in the ways that we know around it. We all say we should not have to go. I didn't know if that's even what, how easy was that?
I think that would take a team of 9 months. To do that research and put together, we can look and see if there are things that are out there existing. I'm not aware of.
Yeah,
So
I agree, I don't know.
That's sort of analysis.
I mean, well, let's take this, San Diego County does this new, have no spending, which maybe states really some things was quite a bit more. I mean. So that kind of comparison with these things. I cannot be lost with what yeah, to me, I think it's great that we especially, but people. We think of people when what does TV and stuff. The news out. No, I'm asking that. That's stuff. But I mean, it's different that black lady is how that's talking. Yeah, I might be all those in the state is interest.
What's a little different from short from therapists out there? I mean, you're spot on though, like the volume of our work across the family standard, right? The size, the state of it, right? But maybe, more.
Then it's genetic.
Wow.
And then I think, yeah, I will go.
Okay, thank you. So this is great feedback. We'll modify this and then bring it back to you in there. Again, it's just for our plan. But in particular, the concept of it going up to so. Yeah, no, that's what I was it. Thank you. Okay, the other things that we have for you is typically your meeting in December is during elect a chair and the vice chair for the coming calendar meeting.
So if you would like to discuss and take action on that today. well,
Yeah, I think,
Paid extra.
No, I've enjoyed being the chair, but I think it's a great place to us.
I can hold that person out.
You
You like to see another meeting?
Is anybody else interested in?
We have vice chair.
It's been really hard being vice chair.
I know somebody's been vice chair.
I think that's.
Is anybody else interested? It's good. I mean, you get, look, you get a gavel. I mean, you got it.
I mean, the battle usually master. So.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll see you.
No one else is interested. There's the other direction. Oh,
I'll make a motion.
I said, all in favor? Opposed? And then we also need a vice chair, so. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Seven thumbs.
Thank you. Okay, we just had, a couple of brief updates that, our team's going to provide to the president. Did you already cover yours, Sarita? Just been, that is coming up and, we sent updating them. And also, last, certified inspector and things, started our, content. Now that happens every 4 years. We're gonna have a people meeting this time. That is great, but they're definitely evaluating when we do on a regular basis, all the time. They know. We now with all the practices, you know. Any incidental finding that it might be with us. So that in general.
I'll just mention that at last, it seems our West Nile virus season has been withdrawn to those weeks. But it's very interesting that we still, we still must investigate cases, travel associated, mosquito illnesses like that. That persists all year long. That's why it seems different. So we must still investigate to make sure that there's not this, what is the risk of possible issue. So, yeah, whether international travel and all that, it's definitely affected what we do. Seasonality. Chagas translated by kissing buds. We had kissing buds in the front. There have not been locally acquired cases. Even travel associated cases. Chagas is the pretty low. That's the third emission. That's correct. And often found by the other branch. I should have read by kind of an SDSU faculty. I know it's the collaboration. I mean, the Swedish subset of finance. But Intersect hasn't led to a lot of detentions. Shock is specific. Even though it's found a lot of points of some things
That was it for the department.
If that's the next we have the meeting, very much to adjourn the meeting. Okay, all right, all in favor? Aye. Right, thank you.
Thanks for the tree. Please take some,